0.8% of Americans are affected by dystonia. That's the odds of me making this shot.
Early morning wake up gently with the caress of your hand and a kimono that I bought you on my trip to Japan. Sunshine.
My name's Aubrey, 23. I have dystonia. I'm married just recently this year. Led a married life. Full-time student and full-time worker. It's pretty sweet.
Start with what is dystonia?
Dystonia is a degenerative neurological disorder. It's very similar to Parkinson's and other brain disorders, Alzheimer's and whatnot. Pretty much what it means is that the neurons aren't firing properly and it's shutting down parts of my body.
Alright. How did you find out you had dystonia?
It was quite a lengthy process, lots of medical tests. There is actually no test that proves a person has dystonia. It's just something that a doctor says, like, right, you have dystonia.
Yeah.
So, for me, it took 2 or 3 years to be diagnosed, but it started because my foot stopped working, and I couldn't like walk very well.
Yeah. Alright. How have you changed your lifestyle since being diagnosed?
We always have to accommodate dystonia.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's a muscular disorder in my case, and so I had to give up soccer, which was my love. So that was probably the hardest adjustment I ever made, and then through time I've had to make little adjustments. I can't write anymore, so I have to use like typing mechanisms for all of my homework and stuff like that. So the school accommodates with that. And then like eating and stuff like that, if it's hard to do, my husband helps me, or I just revert to being a caveman and eating with my hands. So.
Okay, how can others help the cause of dystonia?
It's just pretty much getting awareness out there. Dystonia is like, it's not fairly new, it's just very rare.
Yeah.
It is being found more common as a secondary side effect of car accidents, so there is starting to be more and more of that type of dystonia, but that type of dystonia is like just a localized, so it's in one spot. Generalized dystonia, which is what I have, it's so rare that people just like don't even know about it, so when you're like, oh yeah, I have dystonia, they're like, she just made that up.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, that would be like the only thing that I can say is like just getting awareness out there, people informed.
Yeah.
1 in 500 Americans know about dystonia. That's the odds of me making this shot.
This is Ryan Roberry, the founder of the Tonic for the Dystonic nonprofit organization. When did you first hear about dystonia?
I first heard about dystonia when I was about 12 years old. My best friend was diagnosed with dystonia. When we were younger, she started feeling a lot of pain in her feet, and all of a sudden she couldn't play sports with me anymore. And it took them actually 4 years, when I was 12 years old, it took them 4 years to diagnose her with dystonia specifically, because there's not many people know about what dystonia is, so it's not a very, not much research being done on it, but especially at the time when I was 12 years old. So, you know, the whole time, 4 years that it took them to diagnose her with this disease, we were in a lot of confusion and wondering what the heck it was, but when she was finally diagnosed with it when she was about 16, that's when I first got to know a little more about that disease.
Are they doing any research on it currently?
Yeah, there is research being done. There's actually in Chicago, that's the main headquarters for where they're doing research. There's the Dystonia Medical Research Foundation, and it's a branch of a hospital over in Chicago. That's where most of the research is being done and most of government money is being spent over there. But because it's so closely related to a disease, you may have heard of Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's and other diseases like that that are a little more popular and well known get a lot more funding than dystonia does.
How is it being spread, the word of dystonia?
Well, currently, I mean, since dystonia isn't that big, some people don't see as big of a need to spread awareness, but those who it hits a little closer to home, there are a lot of support groups. The Dystonia Medical Research Foundation, and then there's a bunch of other, several other non-profit organizations throughout the nation that spread awareness and raise money. Locally, there's actually, I guess anywhere you go, there's support groups for those with dystonia, but there aren't very many big organizations to spread awareness.